Hello, friends. What I'm about to share could save you hundreds and in some cases over $1,000 every single year. I'm talking about 5 recurring fees the average American is paying to their bank every single month, and not a single one of them is a fee you actually have to pay. A huge number of seniors are handing money to their bank year after year on charges they could have waived, refunded, or eliminated completely with one phone call or one simple switch. This is not because they did anything wrong, just because nobody at the bank is ever going to call them up and explain how it works. The fee waivers are real. The higher paying accounts are real. And every month you do not act on this, the bank keeps charging you. I went through the fine print on the biggest banks in the country, current federal savings rates, and everything that changed for 2026, and I found 5 specific fees that millions of seniors are paying right now when they do not have to. I will walk through each one, tell you exactly who qualifies, what the numbers look like, and what to do about it. Stay until the end because number 5 is the one almost nobody talks about, and for any retiree living on a fixed income, it could be the biggest of all. My name is John, and the most painful pattern I keep seeing is honest. Careful retirees paying fees they never owed, month after month, year after year, simply because nobody ever sat them down and told them they were allowed to stop. That is the most expensive kind of mistake there is. It is invisible to you. There is no warning, no penalty attached, just money quietly walking out of your account every month that never had to leave in the first place. Let us put a stop to it. The last fee on this list is one most seniors do not realize they are paying, and it also happens to be one of the easiest to shut off. We are starting today with the biggest one. Fee number 1 is not a charge on your statement, it is worse. It is money you should be earning and are not, and the bank is pocketing the difference. I call it the lazy cash fee, and it is the most expensive thing on this entire list. As of May of this year, the national average interest rate on a savings account in this country is 0.38%. That is the FDIC number, the average across thousands of banks. A lot of the big brand name banks pay far less than even that. Some of them pay as little as 0.01%. Meanwhile, a high yield savings account, or a good credit union, will pay you somewhere around 4% right now. Same dollars, same safety, a different result. Let me put that in actual money, because the percentages do not land until you see the dollars. Say you have $20,000 sitting in a regular savings account at that national average. Over a year, that money earns you about $76. Take that same $20,000 and put it in a high yield account at 4%. That earns you about $800 in the same year. The difference is around $720 every year that the bank is keeping by paying you almost nothing. Over 10 years with the money compounding, you are talking about thousands of dollars that should have been yours. I want to address something directly, because it is the thing that stops people. A high yield savings account is not the stock market. It is not risk. It is not gambling with your nest egg. It is FDIC insured up to $250,000 per bank, the same protection your current account has. Your money is just as safe, it is just as easy to get to. It simply pays you a fair rate instead of an insulting one. Who does this one help the most? The comfortable retiree, the one with a real balance sitting in the bank. I am saying that directly because you are the person who assumed the rest of this video was not for you. If you have money parked, this is for you more than anyone. Your move this week. Open an FDIC insured high yield savings account or one at a credit union and move your parked cash into it. Not your daily checking money, the cash that just sits there. Do not delay, because rates have been drifting down since the Fed started cutting late last year. The longer you wait, the smaller the gap gets. The time to move it is now while it is still around 4%. That is fee number 1. Now to the fee that shows up on your statement every month for nothing in return. Fee number 2 is the monthly maintenance fee, sometimes called a service fee. It is a charge you pay just for the privilege of letting the bank hold your money. In January of this year, the average monthly maintenance fee in this country hit a record high of $13.95 a month. That comes to about $167 a year, paid out for nothing in return. There is a trap that catches millions of seniors. The 4 biggest banks in the country, Bank of America, Chase, Citibank, and Wells Fargo, do not offer any senior-specific accounts. So a senior walks into one of those banks, asks if there is anything for older customers, hears no, and walks out thinking there is nothing for them. At that bank, they are right. People assume that because the giant bank has nothing, nobody does. The regional banks and the credit unions tell a different story. TD Bank has an account called 60 Plus, where the fee can disappear once you are 60. Regions has one called 62 Plus Life Green for customers 62 and older, which even waives the paper statement fee. US Bank, PNC, and First Citizens all have senior-friendly options. I am naming those as examples, not as recommendations, and the terms change all the time, so you call your own bank and ask about your own situation. The options are out there. They are just at the banks nobody told you to look at. Here's another angle that helps everyone, regardless of income. A lot of banks will waive that monthly fee for any qualifying direct deposit. Your Social Security check counts as a direct deposit. So just by having your Social Security routed through the account, you may be able to eliminate that fee entirely. Who does this one help? Everyone. It stings the most for the senior on a fixed income, where $167 a year is real money. The comfortable retiree is usually paying it too, on autopilot, never noticing. Your one phone call this week. Call your bank and ask two things. What do you waive for customers over 60? And does my Social Security deposit qualify me for free checking? That is the whole call. That is fee number 2. Fee number 3 is the one that makes people angry once they understand it, because it is a fee that punishes you for being short on money. It is the overdraft fee, and the one that goes with it, the insufficient funds fee. The average overdraft fee in this country right now is about $30 every time it happens. Mistimed 2 payments in a month, which is easy to do when you are living on a fixed schedule, and that is $60 that month. Do that regularly, and you are looking at $700 or more a year. You are being charged $30 because you were a few dollars short. That fee hits hardest when you can least afford it. Almost nobody realizes the bank signs you up for this on purpose. Most banks enroll you in overdraft coverage by default. It sounds helpful, but all it really does is let them approve a transaction you cannot cover so they can charge you $30. Your first move. Call your bank and opt out of overdraft coverage. When you do that, if you do not have the money, the transaction is declined. No purchase and no $30 fee. Nothing happens at all. Your second move is to set up overdraft protection, which is a different thing, and do not let the similar name confuse you. Overdraft protection links your checking account to your savings account, so if you come up short, the bank moves your own money over to cover it. At a lot of banks, including some of those senior accounts I mentioned, that transfer is free. It is your money moving from one of your accounts to another, not a fee. Who does this one help the most? It is sharpest for the senior on a fixed income, where one mistimed payment can cascade. Anyone can mistime a bill, so this is one everyone should set up. That is fee number 3. Fee number 4 is 2 small fees that hide in plain sight, and they survive because they are small enough that you never bother to question them. These are paper statement fees and dormancy fees. The paper statement fee is the bank charging you, usually $2 to $5 a month, to mail you a paper copy of your statement. It does not sound like much. $5 a month is $60 a year, paid out so the bank can mail you a piece of paper you probably glance at and throw away. This one hits everyone, and the fix takes about 2 minutes. Switch to electronic statements, or confirm that your senior account waives the paper fee, because some of them do. The dormancy fee is sneakier, and it tends to catch the comfortable retiree specifically. If you have a second account, an old savings account you opened years ago and forgot about, some banks will start charging you a fee for not using it. They call it inactive or dormant, and then they quietly start eating away at the balance, a few dollars a month, on money you were not even watching. The fix is simple once you know about it. Make one small transaction in that account each period, even moving a single dollar, and it stays active. First, you have to know which of your accounts is at risk, so go look. One more small fee belongs in this group because it lives by the same trick, charging you a little so often that you stop noticing. That is the out-of-network ATM fee. Use the wrong machine and you actually get hit twice. Your own bank charges you somewhere around $2 to $3 for using a machine outside its network, and the owner of that machine charges you another $3 to $5 on top, all for one withdrawal. Pull cash twice a month at the wrong machine, and you have quietly paid over $100 in a year, just to touch your own money. There are 2 easy fixes for this one. The first is to find out which ATM network your bank or credit union actually belongs to. A lot of credit unions are part of a shared network called Co-op, and many banks belong to one called Allpoint, and between them, they give you tens of thousands of fee-free machines across the country. Your bank's app or website will have a finder, and it takes about 30 seconds to use. The second fix is even simpler. When you are already at the grocery store paying for your shopping, ask the cashier for cash back at the register. There is no fee, there is no machine to hunt for, and the cash comes straight out of your checking account, just like an ATM would have given it to you. That is fee number 4. Fee number 5 is aimed at the retiree who has saved up some money, and it is a trap that gets set quietly and springs later. It is the Certificate of Deposit Early Withdrawal Penalty, along with the safe deposit box fees that creep up over time. Let me be straight with you about this one. A senior walks into the bank and somebody steers them into a CD, a certificate of deposit, because it pays a little more interest. That sounds good. A CD locks your money up for a set period. If you need that money before the term is up, the bank hits you with an early withdrawal penalty, often 3 to 6 months of interest. That penalty can wipe out most or all of the interest you earned, and in some cases, it can even take a bite out of the money you put in. The real danger is locking up cash you might actually need. I am not going to tell you to go break a CD you already have this week, because depending on your terms, that could cost you the very penalty we are trying to avoid. Let me be honest about what this week's move actually is. This week's move is a decision, not undoing something you already have. Before you ever open a CD, get the penalty terms in writing. Build what is called a ladder, where you stagger several smaller CDs so that some of your money frees up regularly without any penalty. Let me show you what a ladder actually looks like, because the word gets thrown around without anybody bothering to explain it. Say you have $20,000 you want to put into CDs. Instead of locking the whole $20,000 into one 5-year CD and hoping you do not need it, you split it into 4 pieces of $5,000 each. You open one for 1 year, one for 2 years, one for 3 years, and one for 4 years. Every year, one of those CDs matures, and that money is yours again, free and clear, with no penalty of any kind. If you need it, you take it. If you do not, you roll it into a new 4-year CD and keep the ladder running. What you get is the higher rate the longer CDDs pay, without ever having every dollar locked up at the same time. That is the idea. Know that no penalty CDs exist and ask about them. For any money you might need to reach, that high-yield savings account from the beginning of this video often pays you about the same with no lockup at all. The safe deposit box is the smaller piece of this. Those annual fees tend to creep up year after year, and a lot of senior accounts will discount or waive them, so it is worth asking. While you are at it, it is worth asking yourself whether that box is still holding anything that earns its keep. Who does this one help? The comfortable retiree, the one with savings to lock up or valuables to store. That is fee number 5. Let me run all 5 back fast, and I am going to use the word cancel out loud, because that is the point. Cancel the lazy cash drain by moving your parked money into a high-yield account. Cancel the monthly maintenance fee with one phone call. Cancel your overdraft exposure by opting out and linking your savings. Cancel the paper and dormancy fees by going electronic and keeping your accounts active. Cancel the CD trap before it ever catches you by making the smart decision before you sign. Every one of these is real. Not one of them is automatic. Every one of them can be started this week with one call or one switch. The idea I want you to walk away with, more than any single fee, is this. The law lets you, the bank allows it, the better account is sitting right there waiting. Being eligible to stop paying is not the same as actually stopping. The bank does not refund you. Nobody mails you a check. The money keeps leaving until you stand up and stop it. It does not matter whether your income is small or comfortable. The people who collect these fees are counting on one thing. It is not that you are dishonest. It is not that you are careless. They are counting on the fact that you assume the good stuff is for someone else. The senior getting by assumes the breaks are for people with money. The comfortable senior assumes the relief is only for people who are struggling. So both of them keep paying. That is the entire game. Do one more thing for me. Send this video to one person in your life who needs to hear it. A parent, a neighbor, a friend from church. It does not matter if they are getting by on a single check or sitting on a paid-off house. The odds are very good they are paying at least one of these fees right now for no reason at all. One share from you could be worth more to them than any gift you will ever give. That is what this channel is here to do. I will see you in the next one.